In the quiet town of Franklin, Tennessee, the autumn sun hung low in the sky, casting a golden glow over the rolling hills. Charlie Kirk, a man in his early 30s with sharp features and a determined gaze, stood backstage at the community auditorium. He adjusted his tie, feeling the familiar weight of his notes in his hand. Charlie was a conservative activist, known for his passionate speeches on freedom, family values, and the American dream. Tonight's event was just another stop on his tour, a live broadcast titled, Charlie Kirk Live. The air smelled of fresh coffee from the volunteers' table, and soft murmurs from the gathering crowd filtered through the curtains. Charlie took a deep breath, letting the calm settle over him like a warm blanket. Life hadn't always been this way for Charlie. He started as a young student, debating ideas in college dorms, but his voice grew louder with time. Now, he traveled the country, speaking to crowds who shared his beliefs. Yet, beneath the confidence, there was a relatable ache, a quiet worry that gnawed at him. Threats came in waves, anonymous messages online and whispered warnings from friends. "Be careful out there," they'd say. Charlie brushed them off, but lately, the weight felt heavier. He missed simple evenings at home with his wife, watching the sunset without the shadow of danger. Still, he believed in his cause. It was for the future, for the kids growing up in a changing world. He stepped closer to the stage, hearing the host introduce him. The applause rose gently, like a wave lapping at the shore. As Charlie walked out, the lights bathed him in a soft warmth. The audience, a mix of families, students, and locals, filled the seats. Banners waved with messages of hope and unity. He smiled, waving back, and began his speech. "Good evening, friends," he said slowly, his voice steady and clear. "Tonight, I want to talk about what makes this country great. It's not the politicians in Washington, it's you, the everyday heroes." He paused, letting the words sink in, scanning the faces before him. A young couple in the front row nodded, their eyes bright with agreement. Charlie spoke of challenges, rising costs, lost traditions, the need to stand firm. His words flowed like a gentle stream, building pictures in the listeners' minds. He described an America where families thrived, where hard work paid off. The crowd leaned in, hanging on each sentence. But as the speech unfolded, a subtle unease crept into the room. Charlie felt it first, a prickling at the back of his neck, like eyes watching too closely. He continued, sharing stories from his travels. "I met a farmer in Iowa last week," he said, his tone warm and inviting. "He told me how regulations are choking his land. We can't let that happen." Applause rippled through, soft and supportive. Yet, in the shadows near the side exit, a figure shifted. No one noticed at first. Charlie paused again, sipping water from a glass on the podium. The auditorium's air grew thicker, the scent of polished wood mixing with the faint hum of the broadcast cameras. He spoke of unity, of bridging divides, his voice rising just a touch with passion. Then came the gentle twist. Midway through, as Charlie quoted a founding father, a door creaked open at the back. A man in a dark coat slipped in, his face hidden under a hat. The crowd didn't stir, it seemed ordinary, perhaps a latecomer. Charlie glanced that way briefly, but pressed on. "We must protect our values," he declared, his words echoing softly. The man moved closer, row by row, his steps muffled by the carpet. Charlie felt a chill, but attributed it to the draft. He shared a personal anecdote about his own doubts early in his career, making the audience chuckle lightly. The connection deepened, emotions stirring like leaves in a breeze. Suddenly, the air shattered. A sharp crack echoed through the hall, a gunshot. Chaos erupted slowly at first, gasps turning to screams. Charlie clutched his chest, his eyes wide with surprise. He staggered back, the podium catching him. Blood bloomed on his shirt, dark against the white fabric. The crowd surged, some rushing the stage, others fleeing. Security guards shouted, tackling the shooter near the aisle. Charlie sank to his knees, the world blurring around him. Memories flooded in. His wedding day, laughter with friends, the fire of his first rally. Pain wrapped around him, but so did a strange peace. He had spoken his truth, one last time. In the aftermath, the nation paused. Investigations revealed the shooter, a troubled soul driven by twisted ideologies, acting alone. Charlie's speech, broadcast live, became a rallying cry. His wife, standing strong at the memorial, read his final words to a tearful crowd. "He fought for what he believed," she said softly. Communities came together, discussing ideas with renewed respect. Charlie's legacy lingered, not in anger, but in quiet resolve. The hills of Tennessee rolled on, the sun setting as it always did, a reminder that even in loss, hope endured. His voice, captured forever, whispered on, guiding, inspiring, eternally calm.